Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike P. Waworski. I am your co-host, the co-host from the East Coast. That's the co-host with the most. From the co-hosts with the most from the East Coast, which is the coast with the most. There we go. Here on the Rundown, bringing you two-way views of conservative news. It's great to be with you on this Feedback Friday.
Feedback Friday. Yeah, we call it. Mike, you want to explain to the folks why we call it Feedback Friday?
Yes, if we like you on Friday, we'll give you something. That's basically what it comes down to.
Right. So the only way we know if we like you is if you give us feedback.
That's right. If you interact with us and interact with us well, then we might give you some of the free stuff.
Exactly. So if you're watching us anywhere on social media, that's basically Facebook. If you're watching us on Twitter, on any of the channels where we are currently running, you'll be able to communicate with us. And if we like your comment, well, you will win a prize. Good stuff. Good stuff. So please make sure that you do that. By the way, encourage your friends to do the same. You know, encourage them to get involved. So just however you're watching, make sure you share it. And that way they'll be able to watch too.
There you go. Just like that.
Exactamundo. Any special plans for the weekend?
No, the weekend's I probably cut the grass on Sunday. That's about it. You know, nothing really good going on. I've just, like you, I'm sure been busy doing extra interviews this week. Unfortunately, but getting them done, knocking them out.
Excellent. Well, I actually have a film shoot, another short film on Sunday. So that'll be an early Sunday morning thing, which means it'll pretty much mess up my Saturday afternoon. My Saturday evening, so because I got to be to bed early. But
the sacrifices we have to make, sacrifices you have to make as an actor, Craig. That's all there is to it.
For my art.
For the art, yes, there you go. Yep.
Yes, for the art. We make sacrifices for the art.
Yep, there you go.
Hey, one thing we're not doing this weekend is we're not in Houston at NRA.
You're not in Houston, yeah.
The
weekend's still early for me.
Oh,
the weekend's still early for me. Yeah, I could just hop in the truckster and go.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a jaunt. Would have loved to have been there, but unfortunately, I had the film shoot on Sunday, and just financially, it just didn't make sense to fly from Sacramento to Houston for basically a day and a half. Just once again, it didn't make economic sense, but I'm sure that they're having a lot of fun over there. From what I understand, there's a few protests over there going on, at least according to a number of different news outlets. AP is basically reporting that there's tons of protests, and also not only protests from, anti-gunners, but evidently there are some Republican / pro-gun, or at least they want to call themselves pro-gun politicians who've decided not to show up.
Listen, Craig, you and I have been to these events many times, right? Whoever it happens to be, NRA, USCCA, a SHOT Show, and we always see the reports of the protesters, and we've gone looking for them, and you always find three people with a sign, or four people with two signs. That's it. I remember the last time we found them, and we did this, if you recall, we went up to them, and it was two guys and a girl, right? And I went up and I said, "Hey, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being, what did I say? Thanks for being reasonable about this, but would you like to have a conversation?" And the two guys wouldn't even look at me, right?
Nope.
They wouldn't even talk, wouldn't speak a word. So I turned to the girlfriend and said, "How you doing?" And that was it. Doing? They all walked away.
Yeah,
they all walked away.
How you doing?
Didn't want to have it.
Well, but here's the thing that gets me though. So you have Abbott, who was basically under attack from the right because, he hasn't been the most Republican of governors, and he hasn't been the most pro-gun of governors.
Right.
But except when he was challenged by Colonel West, then all of a sudden he became pro 2A again. But now we see, at least, even though he's not going to be there, he at least made a good excuse. He's going to be in Uvalde. And he recorded a recorded message for the people who were there. But you have the lieutenant governor who decided, yeah, he's not going. And Conyers, their senator, I'm sorry, if he showed up, they would have booed him out of there.
Yeah.
Because he is not a pro-gun Republican. And by the way, I had this debate with
No.
somebody, and we were talking about, for example, arming teachers, and they're like, well, that's not a solution. And he's like, I'm at least half as pro-gun as you. I'm like, well, first of all, you're either pro-gun or you're not. I said, but here's the deal. If prohibiting individuals who have both the right and, oh, by the way, can legally, because just because we have the right doesn't mean the law lets us, but to carry a firearm on a school campus, if you believe that disarming those individuals is justified, you are not even in the vicinity of being pro-gun.
Yeah, you're like compared to us, you're like Venezuela. You're just you're nowhere close, bro. Nowhere
close. not even in the vicinity.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, so NRA will be interesting. You know, it's kind of funny how they make a big deal out of, oh, you're not going to be able to take any guns into the NRA meeting. Well, okay. Well, first of all, you need to understand.
That's a lie.
Well, but when the president is there, when Donald Trump is there, you will not be able to be in the meeting armed.
Be more specific. Right. I had my firearm in me the entire NRA show. If you choose to go to the additional show portion where Donald Trump is,
right,
then you will get secondary screen. But Craig, you know what? You and I got credentialed with VIP. Hold on, I got them right here. I got my presidential press passes.
Yep.
And guess who was that far away from Donald Trump with the firearm? So this is all a crock of lies where they're saying we're disarming people. They're disarming unknown people, wandering people off the street, you know. But guess what? If they said, here's a good guy with a gun, they let the good guy have the gun.
Right. Exactly. But, you know, once again, the media not really knowing or understanding what they're talking about. And this is what happens when you've gone from seasoned reporters and investigative journalists to people who write their news for TikTok.
Yeah. TikTok, you don't stop. TikTok, we don't stop.
Anyway, so NRA is going on. I'm sure people will have fun. Who is there anybody broadcasting the NRA convention, or at least the speaker portion of it?
I don't know. How about NRA TV?
oh! That was
in your face.
Yeah, that was.
It'll get fixed. You know, when Alan West is looks like Alan West is making a bid towards the executive directorship this weekend. Many of the board members have committed to voting for him as the new executive director. So we'll see. The NRA may be good to go come Monday.
You know? It would be nice to have someone to bring integrity back to the NRA.
That you know what? If there's one word to describe that man, it's integrity.
Yes.
It's all there is to
and you know, and I will say this: there are a few bad apples there in the NRA, and unfortunately, those bad apples are pretty high up in the tree.
Right. Yeah.
And they seem to be clustered up there. So if we can just knock a few of those, cut a few of those branches off,
that's it.
You know, we'll be all right. We'd be all right.
Yep.
But, you know, the NRA convention is not, Mike, the only thing that the left lies about when it comes to the Second Amendment, when it comes to firearms. One of the things they do is they tell a lot of lies about mass shootings. And there's a guy named Andrew Follett. Now, I'm just going to say this. The folks over at twitchy.com, they credit Andrew Follett for a number of tweets, or let me clarify. He made the tweets, but he's talking about a lot of the information and misinformation that people put out there about mass shootings, right? Well, he's this is a guy from Club for Growth. Now, mind you, he gets all of his data and information from our good friend, Mr. John Lott, right? This is a paper that he's quoting called Comparing the Global Rate of Public Mass Shootings to U.S. Rate and Comparing Their Changes Over Time. This was from 2018. The piece, the study, once again, that was done by by Dr. John Lott, who is a giant when it comes to research. But so a couple of things that he noted, like number one, you've Mike, you've heard all the politicians say, "Oh yeah, we're this doesn't happen anywhere else," right? You've heard that one, right?
Yep.
So what he points out is out of 97 countries with data, right? The United States is 64th in frequency of mass shootings and 65th in murder rate. Now, last I checked, that puts us, okay, we're not even in the top two. We're in the middle third out of almost 100 countries. Is my math a little off, right? Or we're either at the bottom of the top third or the top of the middle third.
I was told there wouldn't be any math today. I'm sorry. Friday.
But the fact is that there are plenty of countries that are in fact ahead of us when it comes to murder rate. Yeah. Here's another one that go ahead.
It's just the tools too. How many times do we have to watch a samurai spree in a subway in Japan or a narwhal tusk, stabbing in England? It's just.
Well, exactly. Well, now let's also look. Here's another thing that he points out. Once again, this data coming from our good friend, Mr. John Lott. This is okay. So it says 4 times. There are 4 times per capita have died through mass shootings in France as the United States, and 21 times in Norway. So in other words, both France and Norway both have a greater per capita mass shootings or mass casualty events involving firearms than do the United States. And then you've got other countries that are right there with us, right? Like Finland, Germany, Israel, Italy, Spain, and Switzerland also have higher mass shooting death rates. But Mike, this cannot be because this only happens in the United States.
Yeah, I think I actually think the Israel ones there are probably more terrorist related, from what I understand.
But it's still a mass shooting.
Right. And the German ones, I think that's probably just a little more World War II carryover. Oh, look, we found another pile of dead bodies just from the Nazis, that kind of thing. But yeah, listen. Okay, here I want to show you these. Hold on. First off, that's the.
There you go.
That's my press pass from the NRA, and baba, because those that don't believe me, press pool, White House press pool.
Bam.
I remember the White House press pool. So
why don't
probably not welcome now?
I don't see up there with Jen Psaki. I didn't
probably
see
not welcome now. Well, that would be because this would be my question for Jen Psaki. Remember that time you came in with your hair done over your ear? That was awesome.
Can you call me?
That would be my whole question.
Can you call me?
Call me. Hook your brother up. Hook your brother up. Yep. Yeah. Well, listen, we all have to have our hobbies, Craig.
Well, but I mean, okay. So, Mike, what are your thoughts on this whole thing relating to these numbers?
Oh, it's absolutely garbage. When we hear about the U.S. as the no other civilized nation in the world, and I like that. Like, it's okay to kill in Mogadishu, but not here. When they start off with the no other civilized nation in the world, it's crap. Listen, we see all around. We see the hypocrisy of America every day. Internally, again, Craig, how many times do you have to cover how many black on black death crimes there are in Chicago every week, but nobody gives a crap about that. And God forbid you want to talk about what's going on in Rwanda or Somalia. They don't care. Nobody cares. Just drop some bags of rice from an airplane. It'll all be okay. So the hypocrisy of the deaths and what America does is this horrible. We're number one. Now it's just crap. We're, like you said, we're in about the bottom third of the category. Now let's be clear. I don't try to be callous about it. Any tragedy, any tragic death is a horrible way to go. Nobody wants to lose a loved one. Nobody wants to see this happen. But if you continue to go out and blame the tool rather than the operator, you're never going to get anywhere. We must identify the problem. All right. When we go to look at what's going on in the Middle East as far as terrorism, what's going on over there, nobody goes and says, well, it's the AK-47s. What we need to do is just take AK-47s away from terrorists and we'll be no more problems. Okay, it's you know, how many more examples you want? You know, let's shut down McDonald's. There's too many fat people. It's all ridiculous. If you fail to identify the basic part of the problem, defining the problem, you're useless to me. I'd like to have a conversation about gun control. How about we have a conversation about people control? Let's go
There you
there.
go.
Let's do that.
Well, exactly. Especially crazy people control, evil people control,
Yeah.
people who want to go shoot people or stab people control.
How about people that want to have no bail reform? How about people that want to let people out of jail early? How about people that say it's cruel to put
that's
to
called
put the mentally
that's called
unstable behind
politician.
bars?
Look, that's called politician control.
Those are the
And
crazy people I'm worried about.
yes, those
The
are
ones that
exactly the
refuse to
crazy
do
people.
anything.
Well,
Yeah.
well, once again, it's funny how, especially where you look at where, for example, death rates, or they look at shooting rates or murder rates, right? They want to blame
Yeah.
guns, but the gun laws in those areas have not gotten any looser. It's just all of a sudden we're not locking up criminals, and we're putting those criminals out on the streets, and we're, by the way, decriminalizing crime.
Yeah.
But those are the major stats, the major statistics that we're looking at, and the information that's coming out. And then you get people who might, they don't even bother to like appropriately lie, right?
Yeah.
They just flat out lie. And here is an example. This is Sylvester Turner. He is the mayor of Houston. And now tell me if you can identify the lie in this particular speech he gives.
I applaud Beto O'Rourke. And let me just tell you what I've done. 19 of our children are dead. 19, 2 other adults. In 2019, in the state of Texas, the legislature raised the age to purchase tobacco in Texas to 21. And in 2021, the Texas legislature lowered the age to purchase guns to 18. This individual who killed 19 of our children a day ago was 18 when he went and purchased those weapons. And that's because of...
Okay. Did you notice the lie?
Well, I'm trying to find any amount of truth in what he said, but the clear lie, the one I'm sure you're referring to,
Right.
is that they lowered the age to 18 to purchase a firearm.
Right.
They didn't lower crap. They didn't lower crap, Craig. They didn't lower crap. They didn't lower the age at all. You've always had to be 21. Well, since 1968 or 1986,
purchase a handgun.
depending on which
Right.
state you were in, you had to be 21 to purchase a handgun and 18 to purchase a long gun.
Right.
So it's nothing's changed there at all. And that was from a dealer. You could
Right.
always purchase one at the age of 18
Right.
from a private individual. Oh, and by the way, at any age, you could have been gifted one.
Right. Exactly. And that's, unfortunately, once again, this is all an attempt to play politics with it, much like Newsweek attempted to do. And I think this is where he was getting his information, because Newsweek basically went out of their way to take a look at Texas laws. And what they did in this article, if you take the time to read it through, is they made it a point to tie the passing of constitutional carry. They're trying to basically say, well, yeah, they passed constitutional carry, and that's why this guy went and shot up a school, or was able to go and shoot up a school because, well, of constitutional carry.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's nothing but lies and deceit that we see. We know it's the ages have not changed. That's been the same. The constitutional carry issue had nothing to do with this, and it's not complete constitutional carry. It's the restricted constitutional carry. And listen, I get it. If you go and you want complete constitutional carry, and they offer you, partial, you take it. We'll come back next year. We'll take a little bit more. We'll use their methodology. We'll take a bite. We'll give a bite back off the apple every year, rather than trying to eat the whole thing all at once. So you take it. There is still no firearms allowed in K through 12 schools in California. Excuse me, in Texas. They have college campus carry now. If you're old enough and legal for you to carry a firearm through other you qualify otherwise, you're allowed to carry on the college campus. Now, K through 12, you can. Again, let's go all the way back through, Craig, just like we use what happened at in Parkland, Florida. You had, let's use percentages. You know what the percentage of people in the state of Texas were authorized outside school to carry firearms? Craig, I'm going to give this an easy one. And I know I said earlier there'd be no math, but if you're in a K through 12 school in Texas and you're an adult, whether on faculty or a staff member, guess the percentage of people there authorized to carry firearms outside of that campus.
I'm going to say 12 to 15%.
You'd be wrong because they have constitutional carry. It's 100%
right.
authorized.
You are 100%. I stand corrected.
100% authorized to carry outside of that school. But we've got an imaginary line in front of that school that now we have 19 to 22 people dead because somebody said guns are scary. We can't put them with the children. Meanwhile, the ones that are afraid of the guns are the cops, and they spend an hour before they go inside listening to children die. 911 call after 911 call.
While parents say, "Give me your gun and let me go in."
Yep. I'm telling you, they had better put that chief in jail, and everybody had better lose their damn job. Yeah.
No. You're 100% correct. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you one bit. It was all a bad decision. Even the state, I forget what they call what the guy's role is, but a state director, state official, Uvalde made. Oh, here it was. He said Uvalde made the wrong decision. It says official. Hold on, I'll pull up the Wall Street Journal article. What is his name? So Uvalde police incorrectly.
Yeah, it's probably their director of public safety.
Yes, their director of public safety. Their director of public safety, in essence, said, they made the wrong decision. So evidently what happened was some cops went in within 4 minutes, but then the guy blocked himself into a room and they all sat outside the room.
Yep.
So you had at one point you had 19 police officers outside of the classroom and they wouldn't breach. They said, because the incident commander said it's no longer an active shooter situation. That's what was being reported.
And that's what cowards will say to protect themselves, Craig. And I'm sorry, that's what you are. Take your badge off, go home. You must seize the initiative, break the door down, kill the bad guy to keep the children from getting killed.
Right. And
anything else, anything short of that should be criminal. Anybody short of that didn't do that should be criminally liable and go to jail.
To be clear, that's not this guy. This guy is the guy the state official who's saying they should have went in.
This the guy that called him out. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, that's the guy who called him out. I didn't want people when they saw him to be like, I don't like that guy. Yep. He's the one who actually called him out. But once again, this whole thing is full of a bunch of fake claims. But a couple of things. This is what happens when people, when it comes to guns, anti-gunners just get away with making false claims, and no one ever challenges them on it. No one ever says, well, wait, what about this? Or wait, what about that? And we got to start. If you want us to take you seriously, you've got to start challenging some of these Democrat politicians on the fake information that they put out there. You've got to. If you want us to start taking you seriously ever again.
I don't plan on ever taking them seriously because it's been nothing but lies for, my entire lifetime. My, entire 39 years. That's all I've heard from them. So,
I got another one for you. Did you know, Mike, that the AR-15
I do know, Mike.
Did you know that the AR-15 was invented by Nazis?
That can't be right because it stands for America's rifle, AR. I thought it was America's rifle.
Well, see, clearly you haven't talked with Mr. Mark Fisher over at the Washington Post. According to him, it was invented for Nazi infantrymen and was further developed by the U.S. military. And they're saying that this was the school shooter's weapon of choice. He's a senior editor over at the Washington Post, co-author of Trump Revealed. I think he's the one who helped put together, who reported in the Russian dossier about, Trump and hookers and all that, I guess, because if he's talking about Trump revealed, maybe he saw something we didn't. Maybe he had that kind of a relationship with Donald.
Listen,
I don't know.
Yeah, listen. If you've written a book about the president and it's a tell-all, and you can't even get Wikipedia facts right, then probably nobody's going to believe what you have to say about anything at all. Listen, hold on. How much time we got left? Do we want the 5-minute lesson or the 5-second lesson there? All right, we got a minute or two left. Listen, AR-15, right? Eugene Stoner, the creator for Armalite rifles, trying to win the contract after the Korean War, because we primarily used the M2 carbine to replace the M1 Garand. We still had the Garand, and the M1 carbine was our version of an assault rifle and a fully automatic weapon, but shot the smaller 30 carbine round, the short 30 carbine round. America military trying to find a new rifle, ended up going with the M14 rather than the AR-15, which ended up becoming the M16. In fact, Stoner designed not the AR-15 first. They designed the AR-10, and after years of using the M14, which was a modified version of the M1 Garand, they wanted a smaller cartridge, so they then stepped down Eugene Stoner's AR-10, which is Armalite rifle Model 10, to the Armalite rifle Model 15 in its current 5.56 configuration. So it doesn't mean America's rifle. It doesn't mean assault rifle. It means Armalite rifle. And by the way, all I can think is this guy, maybe he's talking about the Sturmgewehr, the Nazi Sturmgewehr, the STG 44, which looks vaguely like an AK-47 and was the inspiration and partial design of the AK-47, where that was designed as well. So maybe he thinks that the AK-47 and the M16 are the same thing. That's all I could think. Yep.
Oh, okay. I was just going to ask you, so which of those guys were Nazis?
Oh, the Nazi would have been none of the guys at Armalite rifle.
I do not see a Nazi.
Wait, no, I'll take that back. One of them may have been on an HOA. Might have been on a homeowner's association.
He might have.
Yeah. So.
Okay. That does kind of tangentially count.
Well, that's the closest thing I think we have to the Nazi party.
Yeah, closest thing that we have today.
Yeah. Is the homeowners associations. Yeah, that's so.
Well, folks. All right, we're moving on to our parting shot. Now we all know that Mikey is not a fan of the jabs, right? We all know that he's like, yeah, no, I am not getting
what?
The jabs, the like coronavirus vaccines.
I thought you said the jabs. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? We're talking about Nazis now. He's talking about the jabs. I'm like, what in the world is he just going crazy this weekend? Yeah, and screw the Jews too. Yeah. Just, what's going to be next? Sorry. Jabs.
Someone's just going to pull out that one little segment saying it. Yeah. The jabs.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Well, now that monkeypox is out there, they're going to come up with a new jab. And, needless to say, Mike's not going to get it. So eventually, this is going to be Mike.
Slimming up a little bit. Nice.
Right. Hey, for those of slim down a little bit. For those of you who are just listening, it's a gentleman who looks like he's in his costume from Planet of the Apes. And the caption says, "Me, summer of 2023, still on the mend from long monkeypox after refusing to take the jab."
I would like you to notice, though, between that picture and this one.
Oh, we have to go back.
Natural hair, baby.
Okay.
That's all natural hair there. That's all natural hair.
Oh, yeah.
That's all me. The color might be leaving my head, but
good news.
The color might be leaving, but the hair.
Monkeypox will give you a little bit thicker hair up there.
A little bit thick. I think it's longer. I don't know if it's thicker, but it's
okay.
I mean, if I eat a lot of potassium in my diet, I get thicker hair.
Okay. Well, Mike. Also, now it could be worse, because there is a disease that we've been suffering from since, I don't know, November 2020. And we are going to have an opportunity this upcoming November to get a jab, a vaccination shot from it. And that is from the donkeypox.
You got the donkeypox.
This is a disease that is killing America. Now, good thing is it's doing it slowly, and it can be reversed. if we're willing to commit some time, energy, and effort, and a few votes.
Yeah, donkeypox, also known as the shorter version, asspox. Asspox. But Craig, but wait, I don't think that's the last parting shot we have. I believe this is the, if we're talking about tragedies, it's the anniversary of a tragedy that happened that caused unrest and riots all around the country this week. I believe it's the 2-year anniversary of one of those tragedies, and I believe we have a picture of that shows the tragedy.
As a matter of fact, we do. And just so you know, we had a long debate as to whether or not we were going to show this to you, because we realize how upsetting it is going to be.
It could
for
be.
Some folks. It could definitely be upsetting.
Yeah.
And it has to do 2 years ago today. Gas prices were they were significantly lower.
That's right.
180. Was that 189 and 99 cents?
Yeah, diesel used to be so cheap, 99, and then regular was up at 189. Yeah, you could see the gas prices 2 years ago. Yeah.
I know it was so good that they had the police there to take full advantage.
They did. Yes, they did.
All right,
you going to hell for that one, Greg?
You are going to hell for that one. Wow. Okay. On that note, why don't you go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors?
Yes, this is probably the last one, right? Let's see. Guerrilla Machining, Grid Defense, the California Republican Assembly, and our good friends at uscombatgear.com.
Once again, folks, please take a moment. If you get a chance, the links to their websites are in the description of this video. All you got to do, go there, check it out. If you like what you see, spend some money. And if you don't like what you see, spend some money anyway. And let them know, though, that the guys over at The Rundown sent you.
And if you go to the California Republican Assembly, you could buy votes there. No, that's the Democrat. I'm sorry, that's the Democrat one.
That's the Democrat website.
Sorry.
That would be the Democrat website.
Sorry, my bad.
They sell them by the box load.
They do. You can pick them up outside of convenience stores. Yeah.
Exactly. Outside convenience stores, in someone's car. Just look for the guy sleeping in the car next to the liquor store.
He'll have them. He's a certified courier. Yeah.
Right. Or walking down the street with your dog. That's where you'll find where you'll find him.
Yep.
All right. Well, hey folks, that's going to be it for today. And for this week, we very much appreciate y'all tuning in. We appreciate you liking, sharing, and subscribing, and encouraging your friends to do the same. Please make sure have a safe and a fun Memorial Day weekend. Mike, are we going to be back on Monday, or are we going to be back on Tuesday?
We'll let you know Monday.
There you go. If you don't see us on Monday, it's because we're on vacation.
Yeah, I got to check with the producers and everybody, so I don't know.
There you go. You folks take care. Enjoy the weekend. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Don't let the monkeypox get you.